So I had a problem to solve. I bought a fashion watch and it was horrible. So I went online and Googled a watch that was good quality, not too expensive, where I didn't have to change the battery. And Seiko came to the rescue. Here's the first watch that I bought, the Seiko 5 SNKL 45K1, and it's a bit of a classic today. I absolutely love this watch, and it's automatic. At the time, I never heard of automatic. I didn't know what it meant. But it means you have a roller here that self-winds. And yes, this has a display case back. Imagine, every battery watch that I had before had a horrible flat back. But this, you could see it. Not only you could see it, you could hear it ticking. Very fast. And the beautiful red second hand sort of sweeps around. I mean, I bought this watch. It was the most I spent on a watch in a long time, ever actually. It was 108 euros. That's an absolute bargain. There's no way you get a watch like that, like this new. And it's very difficult to get this watch new. I absolutely love the buttons, which are very, very simple, but reflect the light beautifully. And then you have the Riho, which also reflects the light and even the buttons when you look. On the wrist, it fits my 6.5 inch or thereabouts wrist absolutely beautifully. Now, like a lot of Seiko 5s, the bracelet that I came on pinched my hairs and didn't look very nice. So I just bought a very simple black leather strap. So all the focus is on the beautiful watch itself. Now, it's been beaten up over the years and I regret that I didn't take better care of it. I even tried to modify it by putting on a sapphire crystal dome, which was a disaster. Everyone's giving out about hard looks, but at least I can see the dial. And so after that, I started learning about watches. You're going to see a theme here where I'm trying to scratch this Rolex itch, but my budget can never stretch to it. I could technically afford to buy a Rolex, but I got responsibilities. I got a mortgage and children and that kind of thing. So to scratch that Submariner itch, I guess I bought the Casio Duro. Now, I needed a beater watch and a watch that had a bezel on it so I could time, because I don't like to wear sun cream and I want a watch that's pretty waterproof. This is 200 meters waterproof. I don't have to worry about this. Every time I'm on a beach, I'm wearing this watch. And it's perfect still. I mean, it really takes a beating. I got rid of the original strap, of course, and bought an aftermarket Casio, or maybe it's an official Casio strap. And on the wrist, it's quite large. I mean, it's 44, sorry, 0.2 millimeter case, and a quite a large lug to lug. Now it just about looks okay on my wrist. It's quite heavy and it does the job, and I absolutely love that beautiful click, 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 click of the bezel. And it's got the Batman aluminium insert. So from there, I hadn't lost the urge to buy a Rolex, but I wanted to buy a small watch. So in my budget, I started looking at vintage watches. But I could never pull the trigger. It was always like, gee, there could be a problem here, it'll need servicing. And then the Timex Marlin came into my radar. This is a very romantic watch in a way. It is a manual wind, so you have to interact with the watch. You have to manually wind it. And again, it has a beautiful automatic sweep and a beautiful dial that has a sort of curvature to it because of the acrylic crystal, which is very, very domed. And actually on the side view, this looks like a UFO, which I love. Now this is, I think, a 34 millimeter watch. And on the wrist, I think it looks beautiful. The only letdown, I think, is the strap. A strap can make or break a watch, a little bit like my first Seiko watch. I really think that it needs a different strap. It's quite glossy and it feels very hard. I'm not even sure if it's genuine leather, even though it says it on the strap. But right now I'm wearing a beige linen shirt and it fits the dial quite well. So this is actually the watch that I was wearing today. And so I don't regret getting that. This is the second one I had because the first one, the crown, came out, but Timex promptly change it. The whole Rolex and small watch didn't go away. So can you think of a 36 millimeter watch that's like a Rolex? Yeah, the Rolex Explorer. But again, I didn't buy the Rolex Explorer. I bought the Homage watch, the Homage experiment, let's call it. And this is the Addiesdive AD2096. Now, I didn't have a special occasion to buy this. This one was a Christmas present. The Timex was a Christmas present. This one was a beater for holidays. Okay, this one was basically to mark the birth of my first child. This is, you know, a beautiful watch. It's got the isostyle bracelet. It's 36 millimeters. I like the crown here. It's quartz, but it's got the mega quartz, so it's sort of faking the sweep of an automatic. So kind of going around with that. It's got the Mercedes handset, and it's got the gold or fake gold gild on the wrist. It looks like a nice sports watch. Okay, goes nice with a suit. It's casual, but you can dress it up. So I can wear it with a suit. I can wear it to work with a blazer, sports jacket. It's quite nice. Now moving on from there, the vintage itch didn't go away. So I went back to the old Seiko. Now this has got to be my favorite watch. And when you look as well at the Rio, it's super shiny and you can actually see the reflection of the indices there. Beautiful. This is such a beautiful watch, and the strap I think goes quite well with it. This is actually the smallest watch I own. And it's the V701-1920R1. The manufacturing date is July 1996 with an ultra slim case. I mean, look at this. This is basically nothing. So actually, I'm not sure if 1996 is vintage, but hey, I'm going to call it vintage. It's not from the 70s, but it's old. And on my wrist, it looks quite fetching, I believe. And I love when I'm at work and I'm having maybe a tough time, and I just take a break and I look at this watch. Of course, the quartz moving, so you don't have to sweep, but the second hands hit pretty accurately. And it just looks beautiful. It's just such a simple, yet there's a lot going on. It's got a nice textured dial. It's like a pearl color. I love the gold color on the black. It's just a nice watch. Now, of course, this is a 6 watch collection in my 6 watch box. So the final watch, I needed another beater. I needed a watch that has sapphires, crystal, a kind of a field watch that was easy to read no matter what. And so I got the Timex Expedition Northfield solar watch. I didn't like the strap it came on, so I bought a simple black silicone strap. And I was almost going to sell this watch until I got this black strap. Now this is 36 millimeters again. I do like my small watches. And on the wrist, it looks quite nice. It's simple. I like the syringe style hands. I like the crown as well. And it's stamped with the as well. Yeah, and I think I'll hang on to this. The bead blasted case is quite simple and beautiful. And I think the black strap, I think I might get a fabric black strap. I still think this hasn't got the right strap, and I do want to keep it. So, you know, taste evolves by trying things out. To keep my strict 6 watch box created, 2 watches have to go today. So, if you haven't guessed, instead of leave it to the end, the 2 watches that I'm selling is the Casio. It's been a beautiful watch, but it's just too big. And the Addiesdive, because it just doesn't feel real. It feels cold, like it has no personality. Every single watch here has its own personality, and I bought it for one reason or another. And they're all beautiful. This is a good looking watch, but it's just a cold piece of personality, less steel on my wrist. You know, at the end of the day, it's not a Rolex watch. So I'm going to replace them. So what am I replacing the watches with and why? Well, recently I got very sick and it scared me. Look, I got over it, but to mark that occasion, I bought the Seiko 5 Sports Field GMT, the SSK059K1. Now, I always wanted a GMT, but the GMT watches are all a bit too big, like 42. You know, this one's bigger than I'd like, but it's 39. And it's a lot more compact. And I got a feeling that it's going to fit my wrist perfectly. So I'll make a quick video about that watch when I get it. But it's going to be there to remind me of winning the battle, the health battle. And to replace the Casio, well, a watch that I've been sort of looking after, scratching a couple of itches. It's not homage to the Rolex Submariner. It's its own thing because it's a Seiko, but it's also a vintage Seiko, and it's also 37 millimeters. It's crazy small for a dive watch. Well, it's not really a dive watch. It's a Seiko SKX023, and it's 37 millimeters. Now, it doesn't have the ISO certified 200 meter depth rating, but it does have a 100 meter depth rating with a screw down crown. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a sports watch that looks like a diver. So, but that's kind of what I want. There's a lack of a chronograph, so maybe I'll replace one of these with a chronograph, or maybe I'll expand it to a 12 watch. Watch this space. So it's getting quite late here, so I have to pack it in. I hope you liked my middle class income and middle-aged watch collection. The journey has not finished, and I'm looking forward to receiving my new watches. Sad to let the Casio go, Casio Duro. I haven't sold it yet, so maybe I'll keep it. But definitely the Addiesdive has gone. And it's a lesson. You know, I was chasing that kind of Rolex Explorer vibe, and that watch didn't even have a Rolex Explorer 5. It just felt completely personalityless, you know. I guess it was kind of a copy thrown together, and it's actually well made, but it just didn't speak to me. You know, like all the other watches speak to me in one way or another, and they all have beauty, and beauty in life is very, very important. And I guess that's my message I'd like to wrap up today. Have something in your life that's beautiful, whether it's a relationship or whether it's, you know, a small piece of jewelry you wear in your hand, you know, something that marks an occasion. For me, that's watches. For you, it might be something else, or it might be just a core memory of spending time with your loved ones. This has been The Pursuit of Meaning. Goodbye.